Roguelite is a fast-paced, on-rails, arcade-style shooter that is dripping with that late, early 80s and 90s anime aesthetic from the second you cut the game on. Once you get hit with the intro sequence and the song, like it feels like this could have been in a lineup of any of the anime you would have watched back in the day. It really has that feel to it, and the classic vibes don't just stop at the intro. It's really baked into the DNA of the game. It even starts off with a film grain effect and a VHS effect that you can switch off if you want to in the settings menu. But I thought it was dope that they really just leaned into this old school aesthetic, and they really nailed it. So we were already off on a good foot. As soon as we started the game, I was already here. Moving on to the gameplay, this kind of feels like a little love child, I would say, between Star Fox and Afterburner. If you know what Afterburner is, you probably need to stretch today because you're probably old. But yeah, you're gonna be flying really fast. You're gonna be shooting. You got missiles you can use, other different weapons that you're gonna find. You're gonna be barrel rolling. You got to do the barrel roll to deflect projectiles, and with the right stick, you have this cool special move called a wing trail attack that you can use to take out large groups of enemies at a time. It does like a little like tail whip kind of thing. It's so fire. That's like my favorite move in the game. But yeah, gameplay wise, man, I had a lot of fun with this. It was so fast paced, and I love the retro presentation down to little details like being able to see the pilot view in the bottom right hand of the screen. Going in the first person view of this game was while playing is nuts, but that was fun just to do for like short periods of time. It just gives it kind of a different feel, and it feels so wild because of how fast it is. But that was kind of fun to do, and you know, it felt good. It felt responsive. I never had any lag or crashes or anything crazy. I enjoyed most of the weapons were pretty cool that I found. And it really did just feel like I was playing like an arcade game, like something I would, plop a couple quarters in, shoot, fly, shoot until you die, and then, you're kind of on to the next thing. But this for me is like, it's the perfect game to play for like quick sessions, and you don't really have to think too much about what you're doing. And I enjoyed that kind of arcade style feel. Now with that arcade style feel and design, you do have to keep in mind, and this will kind of be the one maybe drawback about the game depending on the person, is the length of the game. Arcade style games are normally meant to be pretty short. You're meant to play them multiple times, and this definitely fits that build. I bought this at like 8 o'clock at night, and I did my first whole playthrough of it by like 11 that same night. Now you are incentivized to play this multiple times if you want to get the true ending, because the game does have a little bit of a story. I didn't really mention it earlier, but you play as a pilot who's trying to take down this rogue AI. I think it's called Argus. AI destroyed everything. Now y'all gotta go fight the AI. You kind of know how it goes. But if you want to get the true ending, you will have to play through this multiple times. But your first playthrough to get, to that true ending might only take about 4 hours at most, if even, maybe 3. I would say 3 to 4. But like I said, they do incentivize you to kind of keep playing. As you keep playing, you do unlock more modes. You'll also notice that stages will start to change ever so slightly. You'll notice they start to look a little different when you get to like your second playthrough, and you'll unlock more upgrades for the ship. The ship does have upgrades in terms of weapons, and you can change the color and look of the ship. So I thought that was a pretty cool touch. So yeah, you do get, like I said, you get incentivized to keep playing, and you'll start, like I said, opening up more modes. There's like a roguelike mode that you're gonna get, a caravan mode that I think is meant to like for people who want to chase like high scores and things like that. I think that's what that mode is for. But yeah, if you keep playing, you are getting rewarded with things. Not drastic changes, but enough that you can tell that they didn't want to make it seem like you were just playing the same thing over and over. They did try to make these little subtle changes so that at least it felt different as you kept playing it. But yeah, so the length of this game could be a point of contention for some people depending on the player. I think if you enjoy arcade style shooters, I think it's worth it. I had a blast, but if you're somebody who maybe wants games that have a longer experience, like you're looking for that 20-30 hour game, this isn't for you. This is not for you. You're gonna finish this really quick. But if you just need something that's like a quick hit, I think you'll enjoy this. Now, as much as I did enjoy Rogue Flight, there were some flaws that I believe it did have. With the game being so short, I wish that there was more enemy variety, because I did feel like after a while you kind of were just fighting the same enemies over and over again, and I wish they could have did a little more with the enemy variety. Boss fights, while not bad, I wouldn't say, also didn't really stand out. I never got that feeling of like, oh, that was really cool after a boss fight. It was just more so like, oh, okay, I did a boss fight and now it's, it's on to the next stage. So the boss fights didn't really leave, I don't say they didn't leave a bad impression, but they didn't really leave any impression. They were just kind of like, oh, that's the thing that happened. But I guess it also lends to the bosses aren't super difficult. I don't think the game in general is that difficult. And I think that's kind of how they trap you into the loop, because you're always just go, shoot, and you always feel like you're progressing. So you kind of just naturally just keep playing. But yeah, I didn't find the game to be super difficult. And I do wish that for this game to be so short, there's a decent amount of stages, and you'll get to see that when you play it. A decent amount of stages, but I do wish maybe design wise that the stages maybe just did a little more. I'm not even really sure how to describe this, but I don't know if any of you played. There's a game called Afterburner that I reviewed a long time ago on this channel. I might leave a link to that below. That game did a lot with like stage perspective and things shifting and cameras turning. It felt a lot more interactive, as to where these stages I feel like were very straightforward, and the environment didn't really do a whole lot. I don't know. It's hard for me to describe what I'm saying, but I don't know. I just wish the stages maybe just did a little more, since there weren't, like I said, there was a decent amount of them, but not a lot of them. So I kind of wish they just did a little more. I mean, we had an asteroid field. There's one with some lava. I don't know. I just kind of wanted just a little more. But even with those flaws, I still had a really good time playing this. This was perfect for my sensibilities and the kind of games that I like to play. Quick little hit. I love arcade style games, things that you can kind of play in short sessions, and like I said, not really have to think too hard about what you're doing. You just have fun. To me, that's what this game was. It was just, I'm just gonna cut this on and shoot stuff and fly really fast, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun. And then when I'm done, I'll shut it off and I'll go on to something else. And if I ever want that fix, I'll cut it back on and we'll get right back to it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for Rogue Flight, man. Like I said, if you like arcade style shooters, I think this is worth a look. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this game if you have played it in the comments below. If you haven't played it, let me know if you think it looks interesting and if you'd be willing to check it out. But that is all I have for today's video. My name is Serial Sensei. Y'all stay safe, y'all stay hydrated, and I'll catch y'all on the next video.